So Chennedy Carter is a player for nobody right now. Absolutely nobody. She is not playing basketball, and we've now got a situation where we've got one of the 15 best players in the world just not in the league.
Chennedy Carter just got hit with the coldest move in professional sports. The Chicago Sky didn't even give her a courtesy farewell. No warning, no sugar-coated exit speech. They just went ahead and signed her replacement like she was never part of the roster to begin with. Talk about brutal. Was this a calculated front office decision or a direct message that Carter had worn out her welcome?
The Chicago Sky finally replaced Chennedy Carter with Ariel Atkins, and I am using this as my opportunity to extend an olive branch to the Chennedy Carter brigade. The Ken folk, I believe you guys call yourself. I am taking this as an opportunity to reach out my hand and say greetings.
Carter just got served a reality check hotter than a mid-July afternoon in Chicago. And honestly, it was a long time coming. After spending the entire season making headlines for all the wrong reasons, cheap shots, unnecessary side eyes, and going out of her way to be Caitlin Clark's on-court antagonist. She's now the one sitting on the sidelines. And Chicago didn't just show her the door, they practically slammed it shut and nailed it closed.
Ariel Atkins is a good guard. She's a solid player. But they had Chennedy Carter that they chose to not re-sign, who was one of the most explosive shooting guards in the league. I put her around 2 or 3. I mean, I'm right now playing with Caitlin Clark. I give Kelsey Mitchell the edge. Right now, I think Chennedy Carter is a better shooting guard than, say, Sabrina Ionescu, Kelsey Plum. So, I mean, she's right up there.
Enter Ariel Atkins, a well-respected, high IQ player who knows how to contribute without stirring up unnecessary drama. While Carter is left wondering where her WNBA future stands, the Sky have already moved on, wasting no time in securing someone who actually adds value to the team. And the fans? Oh, they're divided. Some are celebrating like Chicago just won a championship, while Carter's loyal supporters are calling foul, acting like this was the biggest injustice since WNBA refs started ignoring blatant fouls on Caitlin Clark.
And Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul, which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Chennedy Carter.
But let's be real. Chicago made their stance crystal clear. They didn't just quietly part ways with Carter. They made sure there was no room for interpretation. Bringing in a seasoned player before Carter could even try to fight for her spot? That's as direct as it gets.
Do you have any regrets on how it happened and everything that's happened since then?
I don't have any regrets with anything. I'm going to compete and play 100% hard no matter who it is, like I said, or who we're playing. No, I don't have any regrets.
And really? Can anyone be shocked? Carter spent the season embracing the role of the villain instead of focusing on actually making her team better. The unnecessary antics, the lack of professionalism, it all caught up to her. Sure, some fans ate up the drama, but WNBA franchises aren't casting for a reality show. They're trying to win basketball games.
It's a mad one for me, because I'm like, this is... If this was a year ago, fair enough. But like the Sky were willing to take her in. And look, I get it. Maybe she wasn't the greatest in the locker room, but she was really good at basketball.
Meanwhile, Atkins steps into Chicago with zero baggage and all the right intangibles. She's the kind of player who elevates a team without stirring up controversy. She plays hard, she plays smart, and, imagine this, she actually respects the game. That alone makes her an instant upgrade. And while Carter's diehard fans are out here crying foul, the reality is simple. If you can't be a team player, you won't have a team for long. The Sky saw an opportunity to strengthen their roster and eliminate unnecessary distractions, and they seized it. No hard feelings. It's just business.
At first glance, the Chicago Sky trading the number 3 pick in the draft to the Mystics for Ariel Atkins could feel like a little bit of a desperate move, right? Chicago desperate to compete right now with Angel Reese after her rookie season. Of course, Camila Cardoso's rookie season as well. So I get that. And it's a nice rebuilding move by the Mystics.
So now the real question is, what's next for Chennedy Carter? Because let's be honest, there isn't exactly a long line of WNBA teams knocking on her door. She may technically be a free agent, but that doesn't mean much if nobody's willing to take a chance on her. After all the controversy she stirred up last season, franchises might not want to deal with the baggage that comes with signing her. This isn't just about talent. Carter can hoop, and that's never been in doubt. But being a professional athlete is about more than just skill. It's about attitude, discipline, and understanding that basketball is a team sport, not a one-woman show. Right now, she's looking more like the player everyone avoids picking in a pickup game. And unless she does some serious damage control, this could be the abrupt end of her WNBA career.
Last year, due to Carter's behavior, which apparently went unchecked by former coach Teresa Weatherspoon. There was concern within the team regarding how re-signing Carter would impact the Sky's chances of landing other free agents. And likely this was a joint decision that was made between the GM and the new head coach Tyler Marsh.
Meanwhile, Chicago? They're not dwelling on the past. They've moved on, with Ariel Atkins in place and a renewed focus on winning. Carter, on the other hand, is left wondering where it all went wrong. Spoiler alert. It wasn't just one thing. It was an entire season's worth of poor decisions. Chennedy Carter didn't just lose her roster spot. She turned herself into an untouchable free agent, with not a single team willing to take a gamble on her. And can anyone really blame them? After spending the season trying to turn Caitlin Clark into her personal punching bag, both literally and figuratively, she's now facing an off-season filled with uncertainty. Instead of preparing for the 2025 WNBA season, she's staring at an empty schedule. And to think, this all could have played out so differently.
Now, what little girl wants to grow up and play in a league where you're targeted like that? How do you sit here and profess and demand that everyone take women's sports seriously when you can't even take it seriously enough to not act like a junior high queen on the court? It's stupid. That's so dumb. It looks like a soap opera.
Maybe if she had focused on her actual game instead of trying to make a statement at Clark's expense, she wouldn't be in this mess. But instead, Carter leaned all the way into the villain role, taking cheap shots, refusing to show respect, and acting like Clark was just another overhyped rookie. Now, instead of guarding Clark on the court, she'll be watching her from home, remote in one hand, phone in the other, scrolling through WNBA highlights that no longer feature her.
She turned to you a little bit after the Fever
I didn't answer no Caitlin Clark questions.
Did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't say anything.
The saddest part? This downfall was entirely avoidable. Rivalries are a part of sports, but the great ones always knew how to toe the line between competitive and self-destructive. Carter, however, went too far. She wasn't just aggressive during games. She carried that same reckless energy into interviews, social media, and every public interaction. And now, with no team willing to give her another shot, she's learning a brutal lesson about what happens when you prioritize pettiness over professionalism.
That's all I see. They try so long to get respect for women's basketball, and then they treat it like a junior high school girl's locker room. Junior high school girl antics on the court.
The ultimate irony? Caitlin Clark, the same player Carter tried to belittle and humiliate all season, is thriving. Not only is she firmly established as the WNBA's biggest star, but she's also breaking records, securing major endorsements, and preparing for what could be an MVP-caliber season. While Carter is dealing with the silence of a phone that isn't ringing, Clark is gearing up to take her game to even greater heights.
And that's what Caitlin Clark has done. Caitlin Clark has changed the industry. She is bigger than the WNBA. There is not a player in the NBA right now who could come in and be bigger than the NBA. For what it's worth, LeBron James at 40 is not bigger than the NBA. When LeBron James retires, we won't blink. I'm being real. People will not blink. They'll keep watching